don't want to waste much time. As you guys know, the emergency patch, it's been speculated for some time. We've been talking about what's going to come. We know exactly what is going to be in the emergency patch. Maintenance has started now. It's currently 2:45 a.m. my time, so I do want to get through this quite quickly and return to my slumber where I wasn't sleeping in the first place. But anyway, we have the patch notes here. We're going to see exactly what is on offer here. I'll be honest, I've taken a look at some of the things. I saw some general changes. I'm impressed with some of it. I have to be honest, I didn't think they would do some of the things they did. I haven't seen the character specific changes, but there are definitely some things I'm happy about and one thing I'm not so happy about. But this is definitely trending in the right direction from what I saw. So I want to get more into specifics and let's find out what we have. So this here is the stuff in the tweet they released recently with this. There's all the stuff we've already seen in there. Don't need to go over that. I've got my video covering this stuff here. But first off, the health gauge, we will now be going up to 200 HP. Now, I find this a bit worrying. I feel like the strengths of pokes already isn't that fantastic in this game. I feel like it's going to incentivize more of a launcher count here. I need big damage sort of gameplay, but only time will tell. That's my first impressions on it. That's how I feel it. I've not played it yet. Maybe with some time, we'll see how that shifts over time, but that's just my initial feelings. I hope I'm wrong about that. And also rage will now trigger at 47 HP, it says. So it was based on 23.5% of a character's total health. The increase in maximum health will change the rage trigger point from 43 to 47. Saying rage might last slightly longer, blah 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 blah. This could lead to more frequent comeback scenarios. The baseline activation threshold is under review and may be adjusted. So what they're saying is, right now rage is going to activate earlier, basically, kind of. Comparatively, this might be crazy for comebacks, so they're gonna take a look at it and see and adjust it if it's too much. I like the acknowledgement of that. They're like, listen, we're gonna try this. If it doesn't work, I like this. I like this openness that we're seeing right now. Throws don't do chip damage. That's it. That's gonna be coming in the update. Don't need to go over that one. Heat engages are now +9 instead of +17. Now, huge fan of this. I can't wait to see how it incentivizes players actually using their brain after a heat engager now and doing different options and sort of thinking. They don't have to, you'll see certain characters do the same option every single time. There's now options for the defender. They can move certain guaranteed options like Alyssa, I talk about all the time, the chainsaw forward 1+2. Now there are options. You'll be able to power crush, stuff like that. You'll be able to sidestep. That's one thing I want to test immediately, is how much counterplay is there now to certain heat engage situations we always saw. Can I step this? Can I power crush this? Can I interrupt? I'm very excited for this. And then also fast low pokes. You'll be able to low parry now as well at only +9. So this is a very healthy change for the game. Heat dash changed post aerial combo damage scaling from 70% to 60%. Change the recoverable damage inflicted when performing a heat dash after forcing the opponent to block a move from 7 to 2. Due to this change in aerial combo scaling, a discrepancy has been identified between some sample combos and actual combo damage. This will be addressed in a future update. I'm a bit confused on that, but heat dash combos are now going to be scaled heavier. Good change. Chip damage. To reduce chip damage on block, the following adjustments have been made. I wish they would just remove chip damage, but it's here to stay apparently. Moves that normally do chip damage, to lessen the additional chip damage applied during heat, the chip damage scaling has been changed from 25% to 20%. As a result, chip damage from blocking heat smash attacks have been lowered overall. Good change. Moves that deal chip damage by default, adjustments are made so that no additional chip damage is applied during heat for these moves. So if you have a move that does chip damage outside of heat, when you enter, it will not be doing extra chip damage. It will be doing the same it always does. There's no extra scaling on that. And moves whose property change in heat, or moves that deal increased chip damage due to a character's specific heat system. Due to the revised chip damage calculation, some moves were exhibiting excessive variance in chip damage. Balance adjustments have been made accordingly. I'm a bit confused on that. I don't know who's doing, like, the only one I can think is like Anna with a character specific thing, but that's not a heat system. That's just her entire mechanic. So, maybe like Kuma, for example, is what they're going for there. Key charge, the hit now does 110% instead of 150. I don't know, like key charge is dead now in my opinion. Now this is one of the biggest changes for me. This is something I did not expect at all. When I saw this, I jumped for joy a little bit. So moves that induce wall stagger. So this is wall crush. This is when your back hits the wall and then you go down and you're super plus. So in future Tekken 8 updates, the development team is committed to minimizing situations that lead to one-sided exchanges. Hooray. Among these moves that trigger a wall stagger on block or a particular concern, Such moves can easily create extreme advantage of +10 or more when used near the wall, forcing the defender player into a powerful mix-up situation without any opportunity to respond. To reduce these kinds of one-sided scenarios, the team has reviewed all wall stagger on block moves across all characters. Any move that previously created an advantage of +10 or greater on block will no longer trigger a wall stagger when blocked. And then specific effective moves are listed in the character patch notes. I think this is huge. So I'm the guy that was editing the video, and I just have to say we can't have nice things. So I had to take a break from editing, and then I looked at Twitter, and I'm just going to show you guys what I saw. I did the wrong thing. Wait, that's also the wrong thing. Here we go. So shout out to Tone here, who has showed us that the moves don't do the wall crush animation anymore, but they're still heavily plus on block. So you see Delgin's down at 1+2, second charge is +17. I think it was like +20 something. +17 isn't better. it's better by, like, numerically, sure, that's better, but like +17 is still ridiculous because the update is live right now. But you can't play online because of maintenance. And you know, Asuka's moves are another example of that. Running 1+2 is +11, and then the down back 1+2 is +10. And it's like, well, they don't do the wall crush anymore. Shout out to Tone, by the way, for showing this. They don't do the wall crush anymore, but that is still ridiculous. And it's like, maybe when maintenance is finished, it will be fine. But like, was this just meant to be just a cosmetic change? But yeah, that is still not good. And also shouts to High Buff Gigas, please, because the updates are live right now. So there are some things I'm going to mention later on in this video, and we're going to have spoilers now. But like, this is what they've done to Jax 211+. So I mentioned this in the video later on that I'm not happy with the changes, but now with this information, I'm happy with this. You can now sidestep and interrupt with a 13 frame move. And Ana chip damage has also been changed. So this is what the chip damage was before. This is what the situation looked like before. That's a lot of chip damage. And this is what it looks like now. So shout out to these guys for this content, by the way. Again, no more wall crush, and I think this is big because she's -1 now here as well. This used to be plus because of the wall crush. So this is a situation where wall crush has changed, and also a lot less chip damage. But yeah, interesting. Wait, this did wall crush on block. Wait, what? Wait, this did wall crush on block. This did wall crush. They said it was supposed to be gone. I don't know. Either way, so Nina had 83 health from there. And yeah, and so 20 was that from beginning? Was that from full health? So this is what the chip damage used to be like. Oh my goodness, I'm glad I didn't play against that much Ana. Like literally 126 points of chip damage. And now it is 91. So that's still a lot, but well, actually, is this with 200 HP update? Hold on. Yeah, this is with 200 HP. So yeah, so this is what the health looks like now as well. So yeah, this is just High Buck Giga, please, will be posting a lot of stuff, so make sure you tune into this stuff. And shout out to Tone as well for showing this, because like, wait, I don't follow Tone. That's crazy. You know when you see someone's tweets so much you think that you follow them? That's actually crazy. I'm sorry, Tone. He was hiding on my timeline. Hide Tone. But yeah, all future glazing you see in this video for wall crush on block being changed, forget about it. Pretend it doesn't exist. I can't bother to edit it out, but pretend all future glazing about wall crush on block no longer. Pretend I'm not doing it. I've been saying stuff like this is crazy or excessively plus just because you're being punished for blocking a move will do chip damage and be very plus if your back is to the wall. I think this is healthy for the game. I think it stops these long looping situations where characters making you block, you do chip damage, you've guessed wrong once and you died. I feel like it reduces the sense of urgency you'll feel in those situations as the defender where your back's against the wall, they've done a wall crush. Okay, now I have to guess again. They can do another one if they have looping highs, or some mids that do it, right? You know, Jin was a very a popular culprit of this when he was doing the Zen 3+4, the jump You know, it is running threes, and 3+4 does the wall crush. Like this is going on block. I think moves, they didn't say it, but I'm guessing moves that trigger wall crush on a hit will still be, they'll still do it on hit, but on block it will not be done anymore. I think this is a big change. I like the reasoning that they've explained for this. This is very good. It's not. And now we have the character specific patch notes right here. So for Anna received both bug fixes and adjustments to certain moves, specifically for heat moves involving 3 consecutive shots from Lovely Tom. That's the jab string there, and the running 3-2. So very popular chip damage moves for Anna. The return was deemed excessively high near the wall, so the opponent's behavior on hit and block has been adjusted. Additionally, considering the ongoing balance direction of reducing chip damage in future updates, the amount of chip dealt during weakened state has also been reduced accordingly. So again, when Anna puts you in the debuff state, the weakened state, she's now doing less chip damage. So again, healthy changes. I just wish chip damage would go. So on the jab string, so this is when she does the jab into the mid rocket, adjust the opponent's behavior on final hit, so it no longer triggers wall splat, and fixing sure the projectile would not fly straight forward and could untouchably hit opponent's position to the side or behind. So sometimes the rocket, when she fired, it would like hit behind Anna. So that's good. And also it's not going to wall splat anymore. And it doesn't say it, but I'm guessing it's not going to do wall crush anymore on block. But that's something for testing when the patch goes live. Actually, no, it says it here. So during these moves, so all of these moves, the jabs and the running 3, no longer triggers wall stun when blocked by the opponent. So it says it right there. And her fragile state reduce additional chip damage on blocking moves against opponents in a weakened state. And then just some bug fixes here for Anna. So I think that's very good. They're nerfing the chip damage. Weakened state isn't as strong. I think this is very good. Asuka's running 1+2, no longer does wall stun on block. Same thing. Next up, Bryan. In version 2.0, Bryan received a follow-up adjustment to the new move added in season 2, Neo Grim Reaper. That's the full crouch low. It offers high reward on hit. It came with very low risk when blocked despite being a low attack. As a result, the move became extremely useful during snake activation or during heat, overshadowing other options. A big thing I've been saying about this season in Tekken, you're making certain moves so strong, there's no reason not to use them. We're seeing the same thing over and over again. So I like that justification there from them. This led to a noticeable return in gameplay variety and player individuality. Same thing. Taking these points into account, we decided to implement a preemptive adjustment to Bryan's performance as part of a broader balance direction plan for future updates. So it is now -13 instead of -12. On block, consumes more heat, and count it, no longer triggers wall splats. Should have been like that in the first place. And his Snake Eyes reversal no longer does wall crush on block. Claudio running 1+2, no longer does wall crush on block. So Clive, his forward for 1+2, that's the new mid. Can also be used as a running move. Count it, where he throws Ramu's spear afterwards on counter hit. Now does 50 damage instead of 60 on count it, and is only +3, so it's +3 on hit on block now instead of +4, and does 4 points less chip damage. And his heat smash no longer does wall crush on block, and his jab changed kind of. Let's see, Devil Jin's charge move no longer was going to do wall crush on block. So when he does his charge, the guard break charge, if he doesn't fully charge it, it does wall crush. Not going to do that anymore. So I'm also interested to know the frames on these moves now, because again, at wall crush is going to be up to +10, +20 or more. Are they going to be minus on block now? Are they still going to be plus? I'm excited to see. Eddy heat smash no longer does wall crush. He can't teleport round start anymore. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Eddy could, at the start of the round, he could teleport if he had held down forward, I think. Can't do that anymore. And then bug fixes here. Feng, his charge attack and his heat smash no longer wall crush on block. Heihachi CD3 no longer wall crush on block. Wiring down 3+4 change behaviors on hit to make them stand facing forward. This change made because a long period of unblockable time allow for unblockable situation and side steps. Adjusted the collision on hit to reduce instances of characters swapping positions near walls. I never experienced this, but good for everyone. Jack 8. I know a lot of people were wondering about Jack 8. Behavior fixes as well as rebalancing of how the new move Makes Some Noise works. Make Some Noise can be performed as a follow attack from Jack 8's close range core move 2-1, allowing him to easily create a highly advantageous situation simply by forcing the opponent to block. This made it difficult to counter, enabling Jack 8 to apply strong offensive pressure with minimal risk. Additionally, the move proved excessively powerful in terms of combo damage and chip damage, prompting a need for rebalancing. Taking these factors into account, a preemptive adjustment has been implemented for Jack 8 to scale back the performance of the move in line with broader balance strategy planned for future updates. So, Make Some Noise does 10 points less damage, 4 points of chip damage instead of 12. The opponent is now he's now +5 instead of +8. And the hitbox has been reduced to mitigate the anti-deterrence of hitting opponents who are behind you. So I don't know how I feel about that. Like, a lot less chip damage, that's nice. +5 is still +5 off of a jab string I'm gonna test it. Maybe there's some kind of counterplay. Maybe you can step still. Is power crush still your only counterplay? I will have to take a look at that when it happens. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that so far. Personally, I just make it that he can't do it off his jabs. I don't know. Maybe he can't do 2-1 and then be +5, you know, and do chip damage. So that's what I would do personally. But yeah, the moves in the game. This is the one thing that worries me about how they're going to continue balancing, is they're not going to get rid of moves and they're not going to get rid of new stuff. So they're kind of they've kind of put themselves in a place now where there are some things I think this season that are really broken, and instead of just getting rid of it, they're going to adjust it and try and mold it into something that is playable. So yeah, I would just say he shouldn't be able to do it off his jabs. The move can still exist from Gamma How, but I just don't think it should be done off of his jabs. So for this, this is one I'll have to wait and see before I pass judgment on. But yeah, I think this 2-1 into up for 1+2 still looks strong. So +5 is still a lot. But I don't know. We'll have to see. Well, with this one, I have to see. But so far, not a fan of that. Jin Kazama, another character that we've had some words to say. Zen 2 and Zen 4 became major contributors to excessive combo damage. Additionally, the newly introduced running 3 into stance transition is in Season 2 granted Jin exceptionally strong offensive continuity near the wall, enabling to force one-sided pressure on opponents without reprieve. Taking these points into consideration, adjustment to Jin's performance has been implemented ahead of future updates in line with the overall balanced direction. So his running 3 into stance is now +6 instead of +5. I wish they would just get rid of it, but it is here to stay. Like I said, I feel like this is the problem with their balancing direction right now, is they're not going to take out broken stuff. They're just going to leave it in and try their best to make it work. Kind of like what they did with Release Leroy in Tekken 7. So Zen 2 now does 5 points less damage. Zen 4 no longer works for a spike combo. I don't know why that was a thing in the first place. There's a lot I feel about like that this season. There's a lot of things I don't know why they existed in the first place, but they're doing something about it. And his Heat Smash and Zen 3+4 will no longer do Wall Crush on block. Very good. And his new move expanded the hurt box, leaving a situation where certain attacks with whiff. Some characters struggle to punish his down forward 2-4. I think that's what it is. So if they expand his hurt box, they shouldn't struggle as much. Jun. Okay, there's a lot here. For Season 2, Jun's Izmo stance had limited effectiveness in breaking standing block, making it a situational and underutilized option. To address this, various enhancements were introduced in version 2.0. However, these changes unintentionally pushed the stance's strength beyond intended levels, created balance issues. The key factors are the start of the low was sped up, making it nearly impossible to block on reaction and difficult to evade even with side steps, resulting in an overwhelmingly strong move. They sped up a lot of lows this season. I wonder if they're going to talk about any of the other ones they did. The mid had moderate tracking and side steps, and with only a few options, Jun could consistently beat defensive choices with minimal risk. And the new move, the Mirai 1+2, that's the homing plus on block mid, was highly powerful, enabling Jun to force her Izumo's offense onto opponents with little counterplay. Due to these factors, Jun was able to repeatedly pressure opponents from Izumo stance in ways that left little room for effective counterplay. A lot of that happened this season. In light of the overall game balance direction, we've implemented early adjustments to tone down her performance. So 1-2-2 up 2 and forward 3-2, reduce the recovery time inflicted on the opponent by 2 frames. So now +4 instead of +4 instead of +6. So 1-2-2 up 2 forward 3-2, reduce the recovery time inflicted on the opponent by 2 frames, making the amount on the block from +6 to +4. The downward hitbox of the first attack has been reduced, making it easier to sidestep. That's Izumo 3+4. That's Izumo 3 and Izumo 4. The tracking performance has been reduced, making it easier to sidestep. The start of the attack was changed from 19 to 20 to 19 frames. So it's less active. So if you're trying to step it, it shouldn't linger for an extra frame, make it harder for you to step, and also the tracking has been reduced. With this above adjustment, when Jun uses his move from a +4 situation, the opponent can easily evade it by sidestepping to the right. So again, also telling us which way to go. I think this is very good balance patch notes was writing down, I have to say, by saying this has happened and then this has happened, and because of this now means this. I'm a big fan of that. And the new Mirai 1+2 is now +4, and the Baven count has been aligned with that of normal hits, so it doesn't do anything on counter hit anymore. I believe that's what that means. And expanding the hurt box, so she shouldn't be going under things as much. Kazuya down forward 3-2-1, no longer does wall stun on block. King, another character we have to talk about. Stampede Crush, that's his new move, the 3-2-2, has proven to be highly versatile in regular match play with its third hit, enabling powerful offensive pressure via transition into Jaguar Sprint. Additionally, it became particularly dominant tool in wall combos, allowing players to repeatedly apply this strong offense after launching the opponents into the wall. King has received preemptive balance adjustments in line with the broader update policy, aiming to scale back the move strength ahead of further updates. So the second it no longer connects as a natural combo after the first hit lands, and the hitbox of the third hit has been reduced, making it harder to connect against opponents in a down state. So it may not work in a wall combo anymore, just as the 3-2-2, and leave us the hold, reduce the tracking ability of the third hit, and reduce the hitbox of the third hit, making it harder to connect against opponents in a down state. So again, it's going to lose its combo utility, wall combo utility, hopefully, and you should be able to step the third hit now. Oh, excuse me. You should be able to step the third hit now. Jaguar Sprint 3, that's the homing mid when it's powered up, no longer does wall stagger on block. So again, good changes. 3-2-2 has been nerfed. Still has the homing throws in heat. Throws to do chip damage, but that's still something to keep in mind. Kuma, while rising 1-2, no longer does wall stagger on block. Kuma's heat smash no longer does wall stagger on block. Kuma and Panda's new power crash heat engager. It didn't launch. If they did a combo and they went for it as a heat extender, like they went for a heat dash, it wouldn't do the heat extender properly. So they fixed that issue. And Kuma's heat smash fixed about where damage scaling and knockback distance were being reset on hits. Due to this fix, discrepancies between certain sample combos and actual combo damage have been identified. The issue is scheduled to be corrected in a future update. So Kuma could reset combo scaling after using heat smash to like break a wall or something. And I think even in combos, it was doing more damage than it should. So hopefully this is an issue that's fixed now. Lars, another interesting character. So Den 2 now does 2 points less damage. Silent Entry 4 now does 4 points less damage. Down back 2-3 hold no longer does wall crush on block. Limited Entry 1, that is the low, has gone from +26 to +4 on hit, so that is very good. If he hit the low, it used to do the animation where like you're swept off your legs and then like you have to get back up, so Lars could get an uninterrupted running 3 to follow up. And then just some stance transition changes. One thing I'd like to see them do, so it's something I hope they haven't done it for lore, but I wish they do for lore as well, is they get a lot of heat back in their combos. Lars, for instance, because Lars gets heat back. If he's in heat and he's doing a combo, he gets a lot of heat back, because whenever Lars switches stance, he gets heat back now. So if Lars does a combo, he's just only he's not losing, he's just regaining heat, because the heat timer freezes and Lars is switching stances so much in a combo. He's just Lars can heat burst, do a combo and have a full heat meter. The same for lore as well. Lore just has to use nunchuck moves. If they connect, he gets heat back. That's something I wish they would do, but maybe they get into that later on. Now, just a bunch of changes here about wall crush on block for a lot of these characters. So Lily, Lydia, these are what these changes are. Nina's slap reversal. So this action was originally intended to be performed only by certain characters, but was unintentionally available to all characters. Has been fixed. So that's all the slap back stuff we've been seeing. Only the female characters supposed to be able to slap back against Nina and Anna. I don't think they mentioned it for Anna, actually. They haven't mentioned Anna's back to slap back, so they fixed Nina's but not Anna's, or maybe they just forgot to mention Nina's. Paul, again, a lot of moves no longer doing wall crush on block. Paul had a lot of wall crush on block moves, as you can see. We have 3-4 here, and his forward 2 charge has been nerfed. The bug is no longer there. He can't do forward 2 into while sending 4 for a guaranteed hit. Trainers down 2 1+2, that's down 2 into flashbang, that has been nerfed. We got some bug fixes here for Shaheen, Ling, Yoshi. They both have moves that are no longer being wall crush on block, and that is pretty much it when it comes down to the patch note. All in all, I think I'm surprised. I think some of the things they've done genuinely surprised me. I wasn't expecting. This is definitely trending in the right direction. The wall crush on block thing is huge. +9 for heat engages is huge. I wish it was less, but they want to differentiate between heat dash and heat engager on block. I'm guessing, sorry, heat dash on block and heat engages on hit. They want a bit of differential there. It seems like they understand the issues with certain things like King, Jin, they understand these issues. I think my real issue with all of this right now is a lot of these problems have come from moves they just recently introduced in season 2. Were they not aware these moves were a problem beforehand? Now that they brought them in, instead of just taking them out, they're like, okay, we have to try and mold them in a way that's going to make them fit and the players are going to be okay with. I think there is definitely still more work to be done, but all in all, I'm quite happy with a lot of this, I have to say. There's probably some things that have not been mentioned that I'm going to realize later on, but like, oh shit, that's still there. Oh damn, that's still there. Or, you know, certain things. But, you know, I'm excited to get my hands on this emergency update. 200 HP is huge. I hope I'm wrong about feeling like it's going to really take away from sort of the patient poke style gameplay and incentivize, you know, more rush down and aggression and going for launches. I hope I'm wrong about that. I hope it just creates a more healthy, you know, balanced gameplay between both sides. But all in all, a lot of this, I'm happy with it. I'm definitely happy with it. It's a good start. It's a step in the right direction. And with it looking like this, I'm very excited to see what they do mid-May. You know, I feel like there's a good foundation here. They know there's other things they need to get to. They didn't get to them now, but they will get to them. And I think it's a good start. I am excited to see what else they bring to the table. I'll be streaming today, I guess, as you see this video. I'll be streaming later on today, probably about 12 hours from when I'm recording this video. So I'll be streaming. I'll be testing it out. I'll be seeing, you know, how different these things are, testing the things I couldn't really understand in the patch notes. But I'm liking the openness. I'm liking what they're saying. I'm liking the way the notes are written down. It shows an understanding of certain problems. I wish some of these moves weren't added in the first place, but there's nothing we can do now except try and make things work. It feels like they're trying to make things work. So kind of almost a full thumbs up right now. Almost like we're almost there. We're almost there. Mid-May will definitely be interesting. I'm excited to see what this does. I think this is good so far. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please let me know what you guys think as well. I think this is a good start. It's obviously not perfect. I think there's a lot to get through. You know, this has been what the patch released the 1st of April. So that was 16 days ago now. They've been working on this for two weeks. They've clearly taken in some feedback and they've given us this. I'm excited to see how it plays out. Wonder how you guys think it's going to play out. Please like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.